Hi friends and new friends, I'm Tao of Satoshi and you're watching Cash Alternative TV. A little less than a year ago, I interviewed a young woman from Venezuela who was very into cryptocurrencies, particularly Dash. I could tell by interviewing her that she was very positive, friendly, and optimistic for the possibilities for Dash in her country. She had humble plans to try and educate her countrymen about Dash and how it could potentially save them from crippling inflation that they suffer from. She was granted funding by Dash's treasury and she and her team began to work. Fast forward to today, and the movement that lady has started is nothing short of remarkable. Thousands of people working in complementary ways and in different regions of the country, all towards making Dash a default currency for commerce and realizing their mission statement of making Venezuela the first Dash nation. The passion that these folks have for their work is astounding. Don't believe me? Watch this interview with the founder and leader of Dash Venezuela, Eugenia Alcala Sucre. Welcome to Cash Alternative TV. I'm Tao of Satoshi, and my next guest needs no introduction. She's the leader and founder of Dash Venezuela, and she's really kicking butt for Dash down there. Welcome to the show, Eugenia.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me again in your show, Tao.
You're welcome. It's good to see you. And before the broadcast, I just saw a whole bunch of your teammates, and I see that the movement is doing very well. You guys look happy and healthy, and I'm glad to see it. I'm glad to see everything's going well down there with Dash so far.
Yes, we are very, very passionate about this work, and we are very happy to be able, with the support of the community, to keep going, and that shows in our faces.
Okay, yes, you definitely look passionate about the cause. So yes. First of all, I would like to touch on some of the recent events that are happening in Venezuela with Maduro altering the currency. How do you feel that's going to affect the citizens there? And well, first of all, what exactly is he doing?
Well, first of all, he had announced before, a few weeks before, that he announced like 2 months ago, he was going to change the currency and take out 3 of the zeros of our currency. So 1,000 was going to become 1. Okay, 1,000 bolívares were going to become 1 bolívar. But a few weeks ago, after many of the businesses in Venezuela were preparing for this change, he made a different declaration, and he said instead of 3 zeros, they are going to take 5 zeros. So 100,000 bolívares was going to become 1 bolívar. That, of course, that was very confusing for everybody, and I think it still is. Actually, when you see at the prices today is like the first day we are dealing with this in the street and in the businesses. It's really confusing. People are trying to remember what the number for today meant 2 days ago, so it's really, really messy for all Venezuelans to communicate today about prices. In top of that, on Friday evening, Maduro said a lot of other announcements, economic announcements. He did that the minimal wages went up, like, I don't know the percentage, but it was 6 million bolívares of the old ones, the bolívares fuertes, and it was going to go to 100 million bolívares. From 6, no, 100 bolívares. From 6 to 100 million bolívares, I'm sorry. So okay. It was a raise like 3,000%. And it is very confusing because it is not clear how is it going to work, because he said also that the government was going to take over this raise for the private businesses for 90 days, but he didn't say how. So right now little businesses that has employees. They don't know what they are going to do because they are told that they have to raise the wages of their employees by 3,000%. But at the same time, they are told the government is going to take over that for 90 days. It's not clear how, and it's really confusing. He also made some changes in taxes, in the taxes you pay when you buy something. How do you call that in
sales tax?
In English?
Sales tax?
Yes, the sales tax. Yes. It went from 12% to 16%. And besides that, he is saying that the value of the Bolívar Soberano, the new currency, is going to be linked to the value of the petro. And that is, we don't really know very well how is it going to work. So this is a game of waiting and see. How are they going to implement of all of these changes? And of course, we are expecting a real hyperinflation again. Prices are going to go up. This morning only, I was in a meeting with my team, and for the same soda can, one paid 25 Bolívares Soberanos, the new ones, and the other one had paid 80. So the same day, two people buy the same product, and the difference is abysmal. It's like, it doesn't make any sense. So we are expecting a lot of hyperinflation. No one has seen the new bills. I don't know if they are ready, but it is supposed to be ready. So it's going to be confusing for a few days. Businesses are
confusing for longer than a few days. It sounds like a mess. Anyways, go on.
Yes, it is a mess. Well, I don't know. It's going to be really tricky, this one.
Okay, so it's when you're there, you see in Zimbabwe tried this like in the 80s and 90s to try to like cut zeros, and it doesn't work. You know, it's just gonna. What is Maduro saying? Like, what is it? How is he defending these actions, saying that this is going to help the economy?
Well, I don't know. I think analysts, economic analysts, have different positions. Maybe some of them think this is a way of making more flexible the exchange control, because we are talking about petro, and petro has a price in USD, and for the first time since the control exchange began, there is some reference to a USD in our real economy. But again, this reference is still a theory that we don't really know how is this going to work. So I don't know. I believe the government has had a long history of extreme control. This has brought consequences like the black market in everything, because we have black market for food, we have black market for medicine, we have black market for cash. So, for example, if you want cash, you have to pay like 200 or 300% of the value of that cash sometimes. And we have a black market of everything, and this is because of the extreme control the government has tried to implement for so many years. And they are trying to make this go away, but I believe that as long as the government has control of this much, the black market is going to be there. For example, they announced that the official dollar price was similar as the black market a few days ago, and then the black market went up. So when they are going up, the black market goes up No, that is vicious circle. How do you
Yes.
say?
Yep. Vicious circle. Yeah.
Vicious circle. I'm no expert, but I think it's not so easy to solve. I believe there has to be more decisions made in not only economically but also in things like politics, like security, making Venezuela a safe place to invest again, like it was years ago, so businessmen can come here and invest, and the people can become productive again. And that is why, once again, Dash is one alternative to solve this all, and why we have to keep going in the work of how to teach all Venezuelans about blockchain technology, about cryptocurrencies, and about Dash, and how they can implement it right now without waiting for the government to solve anything, to improve their economical lives right now. Because if a Venezuelan can learn how to earn in Dash, how to store their value in Dash, how to accept Dash as form of payment and as a way of donation and a way of making businesses with everyone, even they are here in our country or far away anywhere in the world, so the economy can be productive again, and the families are going to have enough to eat again. And that is why we are so passionate about this work, because we really see that Venezuela needs this right now.
You know what? I just want to make a quick comment regarding your demeanor and your passion and your style right now. When I first interviewed you, you weren't timid, but you weren't really sure about what was happening. And now I see you today, and you're like a visionary, like a leader. You know, like I see you like saying, you know, Dash is going to help us, and this is the reasons why. I'm so proud of you for that. It's really cool to see. You're welcome.
Thank you, and thank you because you saw it before I did. You believed in me. You believed in the project. You were the one who told us you should be named Dash Venezuela, not just Dash Caracas. And you had a vision also, and I believe your vision of Dash Nation as a whole has included us, and it has been such a warm welcome, and we are surrounded by so many good community members. Not only you, but other community members in the Dash Nation you have helped to build, that I am really, really grateful for all of that. Thank you.
Wow, it's great to hear. Thank you. I have a couple of questions before we continue about the petro. Do you know what the value of the petro is right now in US dollars?
They say it is 60 US dollars, and it is linked to the price of the petroleum, no sé cómo se dice, barril de petróleo. Barrel,
okay.
Yes.
So it's always going to be linked to that. There's no like buying or selling of the petro on exchanges right now?
I don't think so. I believe it is in project, and I believe they are going to tell us when it's ready.
Okay, so none of your friends or yourself that have any petro at the moment?
No.
Okay. So it's kind of interesting because as we might not agree with everything that Maduro does, but it looks like he's kind of has a vision of the future with going into cryptocurrency. And that's what we're trying to do here in Dash. You know, we're trying to grow the Dash Nation and get everybody involved in a stable currency that they can use every day. So why don't you tell us about your accomplishments recently as far as Dash Venezuela goes?
Yes. About what you're saying about Maduro, I also think it is different. Interesting, I mean. A few days ago, I was in an interview with DW, and German news channel, and they asked me the same thing. What do you think about Maduro talking about petro and cryptocurrencies? And I said to them that I think it is really good that every Venezuelan right now has heard of the term cryptocurrency, and this is a booster for their curiosity, for their hunger to learn. And that is what we are doing in Dash Venezuela since last year, when we were born as Dash Caracas, the first Dash community in Venezuela. And we started with our project, our cycle of conferences for a year. Remember, that was our first project. And now we are near the culmination of this project. We are having the 11th conference next Saturday, the 25th of August, and the 11th conference. And next month, on September, we are having the 12th conference of this cycle. We are making the project complete with this 12th conference, and we are very happy to have accomplished it, even though it has not been easy because, as you know, last couple of months there has been issues with the budget. Even though we had enough positive votes from the MNOs, the budget was very slim and it was allocated, and we didn't get the funds, although we were in green for manner of speaking. And we did not let that taking us down, but we have received the support of the community through the crowdfunding and through loans of people who have reached out to us and have said to us that our work is too important and it shouldn't stop, and we are going to go anywhere. So it is really exciting that we are getting to this point, because I think it is a triumph, not only for Dash Venezuela, but to all of the Dash community and to all of the Dash project. We have had a 1-year project going on non-stop, and it has been a really beautiful adventure for all of us. When we began, we were, when we were little, when we were kids last year, we thought that we were going to reach 80 people per conference, and we were like, wow, are we going to be able to make it? And it was overwhelming, the response of the people in Venezuela wanting to know about blockchain, about cryptocurrency, and about that. Right now, 1 year later, we are the most famous cryptocurrency in Venezuela.
All right.
And yes.
Everybody watching, big clap.
Yes. And it has been really, really fulfilling. We have had, of course, challenges in the way, and we have grown from those challenges. I feel really proud to say that our work has inspired other teams, other leaders to take on projects in Venezuela, to open new communities. We have over 20 communities right now in Venezuela working to make of Venezuela the first Dash nation, and to teach everyone about what is Dash and how they can help it. Dash can help them to overcome the barriers of economics in Venezuela. So we have had some of these results. For example, our database, only ours, without taking into account the other communities' database, is over 12,000 people who have registered with us to learn more about Dash. We have more than 4,000 people that has come to our conference at least once. We have more than 200 entrepreneurs that have participated in Dash City. That is this exciting exercise we do after every conference. It is an entrepreneurs fair where everything is sold and buy with Dash. So you can buy from a cup of coffee to a motorcycle with Dash right there in Dash City. And it has been really, really exciting. I believe there has been over 400 entrepreneurs that has come to our numerous capacitations trainings for them, special trainings we have had for the entrepreneurs and merchants, and also trainings we give to the journalists, free training we give to journalists so they can understand what is blockchain technology, what is cryptocurrency, and what is Dash. And as a result, they have made better pieces for the press, for TV, for radio, because they are understanding. It's not some superficial information they get and they read, but they understand it. And that is really important to us because I believe the quality of what we are talking about has improved a lot because of the educational work we are doing in Dash Venezuela. We have had great speakers in our conference. We have had lawyers, we have had economists, we have had developers. Also, I believe we have had journalists. We have had a lot of people really, really well qualified to talk about blockchain and cryptocurrencies and Dash. And it has been really important because our name, our Dash Venezuela name, is linked with quality, with professionalism. And I believe this is one of the keys that has made us one of the more famous in Venezuela. Right now, universities are calling us to speak in their campuses, in their classes that they are making to talk about cryptocurrencies. There are businesses coming to us because they want to learn. It is really impressive how now we are not going after them, but they are coming for us to get the information, to get the training they want to get.
Wow,
and
yeah.
It's been really, really exciting. And well, because of all of this, we have become, like I said, a flourishing ecosystem of different communities, different projects. We are I believe, the country that has that has set an example that Dash can really become a real currency for a country, for a whole country. And that is mind-blowing since my point of view. So we are the country with more merchants who accept Dash, and I believe it's a snowball. The other was talking to me about what is our goal from this point over, and I was telling them that right now we have built this momentum. We have built this time when we are the most famous cryptocurrency, and we have to take this momentum and seize it and non-stop until we get the massive adoption. If you start the curve of adoption of a new product, you can see the early adopters from 0 to 15% of the population. And when you pass that threshold of 15%, it starts to go up and up with not so much work, because it has begun to have a massive quality. So we have to get going as hard until we are 15% of the Venezuelans are using Dash.
Okay, and in your estimates, like what would you say you're at now? Like maybe 1%?
I think that one of the things we need to do is to investigate that. And I believe that is why it is really important that we are talking to universities and to other kinds of research businesses, because we need a serious research to know where we are. We can have estimates. For example, we have 20 communities. We have 900 merchants in all Venezuela accepting Dash. Those are some numbers. We have been in number 2 of the country that download more the wallet, the Dash wallet, and also in one of the top countries that get into the. We have some numbers, but we need a serious investigation, a serious research to know for sure where we are at.
Okay, well, I can see like just from the other communities that are started and the Dash Youth, Dash Help Me, the call center, that there's a serious ecosystem down there being built, and you're even expanding to other places. Like I just heard a couple of days ago that the call center is available for Americans too if they have any problems with Dash. So
yes.
it's really interesting to see, you know, like you're taking control in your country, but you're also helping people in other countries too. So that's really neat.
Yes.
So what do you think are like the people that you've talked to, like the communities that you want to give a shout out to and say you guys are doing like a really good job at this? I know I did an interview with Dash Marikai, and those are some serious business people in that region. But are there any other communities you'd like to give a shout out for? Hey, you're doing a really good job.
Yes, the communities are we are really near my heart. I really love them a lot because they are leaders. They are not taking anything for granted. They are going after their dreams, and they are helping people on the way to do that. And they, of course, we always, and that has been my philosophy from the beginning. I believe a good effort deserves good compensation, but they are not doing it for the compensation. They are doing it for the passion, and we are helping them to get the compensation they deserve. But that is not what moves them, and that is so awesome. And I believe that is why they have these results. They are all so awesome, from the small ones to the big ones. Of course, Dash Maracay is one of them, better known in the community because they have already received funding from the Treasury directly. They had done one big conference with Dash City. They had done other events that has been really successful. With Dash Maracay, it is great because it is a great example of how communities can be allies and can learn one from the another. They have learned from us, but we have learned so much from them also, and it has been great. Actually, this Saturday, Jose Manuel da Silva from Dash Maracay is going to be the speaker to our 11th conference, and he's going to talk about how to make new business models using Dash to commercialize goods and services in our country, because he is an entrepreneur, he has a business, and he is introducing Dash into his business model. So he talks from the experience, not only as a Dash leader, but also as an entrepreneur, and it is really, really, really great. We have another very promising communities, like for example, Dash Valencia has amazed me from some time ago, because they have so clear ideas and they have such natural leadership qualities, and they also are really loyal and really collaborative with all of their fellow community leaders. They are also helping the other ones and teaching the other ones. It is really great. They are working with us. We have made an alliance with Unitec, that is a technological university in Valencia, and Dash Venezuela initiated the alliance, but now Dash Valencia is working with them directly, and are download. For example, they in Unitec they organize a cryptocurrency course or a class, and Dash Valencia comes and downloads wallets for the students and explain how to use Dash, and etc. etc. They are working in alliance with Unitec thanks to a first lead we gave them. That is one of the things we are making for working like this, like a real Dash nation, no?
Yeah.
For example, I admire a lot Dash La Guaira. This is a community you may call small because they haven't had so big events, but they are completely effective when it comes to talk to merchants and explain them what is Dash and get them to accept Dash like this. They are like this marvelous. I don't know how to tell them, influencers to the merchants, and we have learned a lot from them also. Dash Valera has made some impressive work also. They have had the first touristic monument in Venezuela to accept Dash, La Virgen de la Paz in Valera. It is a big statue of Virgin Mary in that town, and people now can buy their ticket to visit that monument in Dash, and that is really awesome.
Nice.
We have also people like Dash Costas de Aragua, and this is a tricky one because they are working not in a city, but in a group of little towns that are by the sea, and they have problems with internet, problems with telephone signal, but they are making their job. They have had one meetup, they have a little bed and breakfast over there accepting Dash. You can go to make tourism and pay with Dash thanks to the work of Costas de Aragua. Dash Maracaibo, for example, is led by this wonderful woman, and she has, I think, her most shining strength is with the media. She's a spokesperson, a natural spokesperson, and she is a really beautiful representative of Dash. Even though she lives in a big city called Maracaibo, but this big city has had problems with electricity power for the last few months, and they have like 3 hours of electricity per day.
Wow.
And that hasn't stopped her working. So that is awesome. Dash Puerto La Cruz is also a very well organized group, and they have made a lot of meetups. What I like most about Dash Puerto La Cruz is that they are very creative. They invent new things, new kinds of activities, and they share it with us, and we all learn. It is really great. Working with them always brings me a smile.
Cool. Yeah. So I'm really happy to see like this. You're like the embodiment of what I picture for Dash Nation, you know, like people that are passionate about Dash and wanting to spread the word and doing what they can, like their strengths to help Dash forward. And seeing that happen down there, I've got to go there one day. Like you're just blowing me away here. I'm going to be honest. Like I don't even have to look at your next proposal, and I'm going to vote for it already. But since I guess we have to talk about it, why don't you give the viewers, possible Masternode owners that are watching, a synopsis of what exactly you're asking the network to fund this time around?
Yes, our current proposal is to fund the 12th conference. First of all, to close this beautiful first project that has been the beginning of all this movement in Venezuela. We are lucky because Ernesto Contreras has said yes, he's coming to Venezuela to be our speaker. He is the new and shiny business developer manager for all of Latin America from Dash Core team. And he has accepted, he's coming to Venezuela, and he's speaking about Venezuela cashless. And he's talking about how cryptocurrencies are an alternative to make this advance. He has lived in Asia for a few years. So he has seen how some Asian countries are already almost cashless and how this can work to make of Venezuela a really advanced country in that kind of thing. So we are very excited that Ernesto is coming. Also, we want to prepare some important things to close this cycle, and we are going to. These are some surprises we are working on, and we are going to be announcing them for the conference when they are ready. Also, we are continuing our weekly training programs for entrepreneurs and also for businesses and for journalists. Let me explain about this. It may look like we only have one activity a month, and that activity is the conference, but that is really far from the truth. We are working every day, long hours, because we make so many activities. For example, we have a production team that is working to get all of the things of the conference prepared, but also we have an entrepreneurs team that are working every day to train these entrepreneurs and merchants, so they are not only in theory but in practice are ready to use Dash, to really use Dash. That means that when you, for example, if you look for one of these entrepreneurs in Dash Merchant, in Dash, Discover Dash, I'm sorry,
Yep.
in discoverdash.com, and you find a merchant and you call them or visit them, we want them to be really, really prepared to accept Dash as payment. And so we work really hard in the capacitation, the training of these entrepreneurs, and we do it every week. Also, we have a really busy agenda with the media. For example, myself, I am the principal spokesperson of Dash Venezuela, and I have no less than 3 interviews a week with different media, press, TV, radio, in English, in Spanish. All we can do to get the people to know about this. And we also make trainings for the journalists, as I said before. So we want this work to be able to continue in our proposal, okay? And that is what we are getting at. From October to December, we are going to make another proposal, different, because we don't want to make a monthly conference anymore. We are, as I said, I think we have build the momentum, and we can seize that momentum and make with less resources get to most people and to most businesses. And that is what we are preparing for October, November, and December.
Okay, so the one that's currently before the Dash Network is just to finish the current project, right? The last conference that you guys were going to have, as far as the conferences that you originally started last year, right?
Yes, the conference and the weekly trainings and the weekly interviews.
Okay.
Yes.
Awesome. So,
Yes.
So you built quite a, like you say, you built quite a network down there. How do you see Dash in the next, like, what are your plans for Dash in the next year? Like, where do you think you guys are going to be going from here?
I have imagined our work to be like more focused that we have had it until now. I believe it is important to keep the interviews going every week in every media we can get, because that makes people to recognize the brand. A year from now, a year ago, you said Dash and nobody knew what that was. Today you say Dash and they know because they have heard of Dash. Maybe they have come to our conference, or maybe they have listened to it in an interview. Yesterday, my grandmother called me to tell me she had seen me in TV and she couldn't believe it. I mean, even grandmas are listening, are hearing from Dash and cryptocurrencies, and that cannot stop. That has to keep going. And I believe we could transform the event, not making a conference like we are going to close next month, but a different kind of event when we make sure that everyone who gets in there is really prepared to go outside and defend themselves in the crypto world. I mean, to give them the tools. So we are planning on a routine that we are going to implement every week, and also we want to make some big events, but not every month, but most certainly like 4 times a year. That is what we are planning, and we want to help the communities strengthen. We want to make them strong so they can keep going with their work, because it is really important. We have really talented people in the communities, and we want to help them. So that is one of our focuses for the next year.
Okay, so are there any parts of Venezuela that haven't been touched by Dash, and you want to get them started on having a community there?
I didn't get that. Sorry, can you repeat?
Is there any parts of Venezuela that currently don't have a community that you would like to outreach to?
Yes, I would love it to have a Dash community, for example, in Margarita Island. That is a touristic place and city, and beautiful city, and it is full with entrepreneurs. So that will be awesome. Maybe, yes, I want every state to have one Dash community, and I believe there are some of them that still doesn't have one. So we are going to help people to make that happen. Also, we want we are developing some projects, but I am not going to talk about them in detail for now. But we are preparing some projects that are about making it possible for Venezuelans to earn directly in Dash, to get Dash as an income. So they have a way to take those Dash and spend it in the communities and in the businesses, to buy the groceries, to buy their health care, etc.
Awesome. So that's great. Yeah, I mean, that's the 3 things that you need. You need to have the merchant adoption, you need to have the consumer adoption, and you need to have the liquidity, like a way to get the Dash in there so it can be used with buying and selling and stuff like that. So yeah, it sounds like you got the right idea, and you know, it doesn't take a day, you know, you got to keep pushing at it, and you guys really look like you have a lot of confidence right now. I'm really glad to see that. So do you have anything else to mention, to anything else you want to bring up before I let you go?
A big thank you. A big thank you to all of the people that at some point have contributed to our project, maybe with ideas, suggestions, encouragement, kind words, votes, and also the donations and the loans we have had in the past few months. People that has inspired us to keep going. I want to say a big thank you. I want to let you know that it's not only me, it's a big team that is as passionate as I am, if not more, about making of Venezuela the first Dash nation. We are not going to stop. We want to keep going, and thanks to you, we are going to do that. We are going to take all of our ideas and projects and energy and focus that on helping Venezuelans understand that Dash is an alternative for them.
Awesome. Well, I wish you the best of luck, and I won't keep you from your work. I know you're very busy. I would love to have you on the show again in the future to discuss your next accomplishments and your goals from there. So lovely to have you on the show again, Eugenia. Wish you a great day.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Tao.
Have a good one. Well, that's all I have for today. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe if you want to see more from me and Cash Alternative TV episodes. Remember, until next time, Dash is a digital alternative to cash and is becoming more so every day. Bye for now.
Alternative.